Hello, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Big O's Moto. Hope everybody's doing okay today. It's hot, it's June, and well, it's starting to look like Christmas around here in June. And you say, well, what's he mean by Christmas in June? Well, what else could it be? Christmas gifts in June. The Big O's Moto. We'll be back in just a minute and we'll see what we got. Okay, anyway, what was I talking about? I got a big order. Well, not a big order. I got an order in from Rocky Mountain ATVMC and Amazon, and I made a trip to Harbor Freight and got a few things there. So we'll go over that, and then we'll get into some of these parts, and I'll tell you why I bought those parts, where I bought them, why I bought them. Anyway, let's get into all that, and we'll see what you talk. Show you what I'm talking about. All right. First of all, got a few things from Rocky Mountain ATVMC, and I was hoping to get my throttle cable on. Well, I had it on. I took it off. I got that several months ago, and because I had to get a new throttle housing, because the 22 millimeter 22 length 8 millimeter bolts wouldn't work, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, here's the difference. Whoever had the bike before put some kind of universal throttle housing and didn't work. And the reason why it didn't work is because it didn't have a piece for the spool. And this is a Honda OEM part from Japan with the spool, but I don't have the spool and I don't have the screws, which it's supposed to have. So somebody took, and this piece of plastic sits in there somehow. It worked for them, but it wasn't proper. And the reason I say that, all your Japanese bikes have the spool. This is on the KX125, and that's the proper throttle housing. I can't put it on for that reason. And I did get a Tusk cable lubricator. Well, that works is you drop your throttle cable down in that little hole right there, and then you have another hole. You squirt your lubricant in it. Let's see. I got that. Got other stuff in here. Cable life. This will work even on bicycles. So if you don't ride motorcycles, it'll work on any bike, any bicycle. You can get one of those. I think there's a YouTube video you can look up using a rubber band and a Ziploc bag to make your own housing, if you want to do that. Brake fluid. Got some Maxima brake fluid. Well, actually, I've had it a while. I bought it at a motorcycle shop, and I've been waiting on these. I got these off of eBay, called 4MX. These are my brake lines that's going to be going in. Cool, spiffy looking brake lines. Core, I looked them up. They're on eBay, but it's a company out of Titusville, Florida. And that's just where they come from. I looked them up on the Instagram page, and they had some Instagram videos. Oh, we got some Core stickers. Let's see, what else we got over here? Oh, got a Cherubies brake disc guard. It don't exactly match, but it close. It's plastic, but that's the color I got, so it matched the bike. Because I want it to look. They have black and white, red and white, orange and white for your KTMs, blue and white for your Yamahas, Green and black for your Kawasaki's. A Cherubies has got anything you want, they can make it for that color for bikes. All the manufacturers. Let's see what else we got. Tuss brakes. This is for the front brakes because we're going to be installing the brakes. That goes in that stack. Oh, that goes with the Cherubies brake guard. What else is that here? Oh, Sealmate. If you don't have one of these, get one. I've actually seen people take this pattern and take a spray bottle, like a square spray bottle, and cut that out because it's real flimsy. This is your seal saver. Pull your dust covers down and stick that up in there and go around the fork and clean the dust out, because dust and dirt gets up in between the seal and the fork, and that's what causes fork oil to start leaking out. So I got one of those, throw that in. Again, last but not least, ProTrax. I got me some tires. Man, I've been thrilled to death to get some tires. Now, ProTrax is a company I found on Amazon. No, it's not American made. I've been trying my best to stick with American made stuff. Some of this stuff is not American made. I mean, Rocky Mountain ATVMC, it says made in Taiwan, whatever. I don't like buying anything from China. I'm going to try to stay away from China as much as I can. I want to buy American as much as I can, but also some American products are very expensive. And if you're on a budget, you get what you can get. I think Harbor Freight is a Chinese company. Yeah, I've got some. There's a socket set. I got a heat gun. Some of this stuff is pricey, and some of the stuff you can buy it in a store without having to order it. I had to look up ProTrax. That's a South Korean company. I'd never heard of them. And I wanted to put Dunlops on this motorcycle because they're made in Huntsville, Alabama. But Dunlop is very expensive. Racing bike tires. I think one rear tire is almost, not quite as much as I paid for these two tires and two tubes. I got these for $127, the whole shebang. But I asked a tire mechanic about ProTrax. He didn't know anything about them. He says they're a good tire. A lot of guys buy these because they're on a budget to put them on their motorcycles. I didn't ask street bike or dirt bike, and they're more reasonably priced. I think these come out of Florida also, but it originates in Korea is what the mechanic told me. He said, if you're not racing, if you're not going to race, you don't need an expensive Dunlop. I will get a set of Dunlops one of these days, just not now. But I'm going to run these tires when I get the bike done and see how they do, evaluate them. I don't know that I'll buy them again or not. We'll see. That's a long ways off. But anyway, with that, we're going to get started with putting some pieces on this bike. Oh, forgot one other thing. I've got the front rim ready. Back rim, we haven't got to that. That's in another phase. I did not get the rim liner. You can get a rim liner and put around this a barrier. It's a barrier between your tube and the spokes, so you don't pinch or poke a hole in the tube. Or you can just get tape and wrap it. So I wrapped about 2 rounds of black electrical tape because this is going to be inside. So that's what we used. Anyway, we'll get started here in just a minute. Okay, y'all just saw all that work where I just put that tire and tube on. And apparently, this is a standard motorcycle tube. Uh, I don't recommend a standard motorcycle tube because they're too easy to pinch. It's a heavy duty one. I just put air in it, and apparently I pinched the tube. So I'm gonna have to take that tube out and buy a heavy duty tube to go on the bike. I put those on my son's motorcycle and they worked a whole lot better. So that's the risk when you're putting a tire on and you're using tools and you're trying to get it on. You can't see what you're doing inside the tire. So apparently I pinched the tube and it will not hold air. So therefore I'm going to have to buy a better tube. That's not saying too much about Protrax, but then again, like I said, any standard tube is too easy to pinch and prone to pinch. So I'll be getting a heavy duty tube to put in it because it just, I must have pinched it all the way around. Anyway, we'll move on to other